I'm sort of never lost my words, but 50 years ago, we sat at my mum and dad's place, and they just held the City to Serve. And Mike O'Loughlin and Anthony Risby and Graham Cruz and myself, we came up with this idea that we'd hold a race for the community. So, hence the idea was born. And typical mum and dad there, you know, they provide the supper, cup of tea and cake and all that. And I said to Dad, we're thinking about holding this race, what should we call it? And we contemplated calling it the City to Bay, from the Hobart in town down to the Sandy Bay. But we wanted a race which was about 10 to 11 Ks, and I thought, they've got to go down and then they've got to come back, that's not a good idea. And then we thought about a heap of other things, and then I said, oh, well, we'll hold it from Glenorchy to the casino. And my father, as quick as a flash, said, what do you call it, City to Casino? And hence, that's how it started. And I was telling my wife, coming in on the first day when it was held, I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning and got out and put the signs out with the 10, 9, 8 and 7 kilometre things. Then came down here with my other three, Mike and Anthony and Graham, and we set all the casino up ready. We had officials from the Southern Athletics brands and conned a few of my friends to come and help us. And then Mike and I and Anthony, we hopped in the car and drove out to Glenorchy and we ran. And what we had then was 2 police. And they came to me and said, oh look, you've got a fair number here. So what you'll have to do is stop at the traffic lights. And I said, yeah, no worries, that'll be fine. And then Anthony Risby was with me and also Neil Garr said, forget about that shit, just run. And that's what they did, they ran. But the sad part about it is Anthony, Graham and Mike are not here. And also our first winner, Neil Garr, is not here. And when you look through the 199 people, which I did the other day, I could find 25 that aren't here. And I mean, I was 22 years of age when we organised this. And I mean, I was training to run marathons. And it was just my part to give something to the community. There's people in this room that have helped me all the way through. I mean, if you look at the budget there, it says $361. That's what it cost to run the first City to Casino. But then it doesn't mention that probably $200 out of Mike O'Loughlin's pocket and $200 out of my pocket. But just to see people run and enjoy themselves was what it's all about. And there's been so many other people that have helped us. I mean, I've just seen there from the Surf Lifesaving, Julian Hickey and Barney Reardon. And I mean, without those people coming here, you know, they produced 40 officials for us. And the good thing about the Surf Lifesaving was that most of them turned up, and it's usually the night after they've had their big night of presentations and things like that. So really all they wanted was a coffee to get a bit of seediness out of them. But then it was just like one big happy family. You got together every 12 months, and Julian would come to the meetings, or a chap by the name of Steve Gray, who unfortunately is not here. And that's how it was done. You know, we all had jobs, and we just organised it. And then Noel Ruddock got involved with it, and then hence from there it just came time for me to hand it over, and we handed it to Hayden Nelson. And it's grown from there, and from things like that. It's probably 10 years since I've been and seen the race itself, because I'm a great believer is that I've had my time in the sun, I've done what I can, it's time for them, and they don't need a ghost there all the time. But to sit back and think it's 50 years, it's unreal. I mean, yeah, I was 22, and you probably noticed walking up, I'm not moving as quick as I used to. But I mean, since I'm 22, I've had 4 knee replacements and heaps of other injuries and things like that. But I wouldn't change any of it, not really. But to Hayden, thank you for what you've done. To everybody else that's ever helped me with it, thank you. And for those that are going to run, the past winners, the past people that have just taken part, I mean, there's Rick Coyle here, there's Andrew Rippon, there's Gillard, there's heaps of athletes. And Tasmania has always punched above itself with athletes. And when I took Neil Gale to Sydney, because that was one of the conditions of winning the race, he would go to Sydney to run in the City to Surf the year before. And I got in contact with the Herald Sun in Sydney, and I made contact with a chap by the name of John Forsyth. And I said to him, look, could we get young Neil in the front row? And he said, oh, we'll be one of about 25,000 that want to get on the front row. I said, I'm telling you now, this bloke will finish in the first 5. He said, he's that good. I said, he's better than that good. Neil led that race in City to Surf for the first 10 kilometres. Then he was beaten by a bloke by the name of Kerry Moore, who came from the United States. And he's one of the best distance runners around. And then there was Manners from New Zealand. Neil finished up 4th. So I was correct in my top 5. So, look, everybody, thank you. Enjoy your night. Thanks for all your help. And Hayden, I know it's time for you to pass the baton, but look, you just got to be so grateful for what you've done for the community. That's what it's all about. It's the community.